Hi friends, this is Elvijay here. Welcome to my networking channel. Hope all are doing good. And today the topic I am going to discuss about how to configure a basic BGP configuration in a Fortigate firewall. So for this I have connected two Fortigate firewall by physical port 1, and this interface IP is 192.168.1.1. So this firewall is in autonomous system number 1, and another firewall this is in a autonomous system number 2, and I am going to configure an eBGP neighbor relationship between these two different firewalls, right? So first let us quickly configure this directly connected interfaces. Then I'm going to show you how we can configure the basic BGP configuration through CLI. Okay, so let us go to the first firewall. So the host name is Fort1, and let us configure the directly connected interfaces. So config system interface, edit port 1 and set IP. So by default it is in DHCP mode. I have to change it to a static mode. So set mode is static, then we have to assign this IP. Okay, config system interface, edit port 1, set mode static, and set IP is 192.168.1.1, and allow access is a ping access. So just copy this and paste it into the first firewall and save the configuration. So now let us view the running configuration. View the port configuration. Show system interface port 1. Okay. Similar way for the second port, the port is for the remote firewall, the port 1 is 192.168.1.2. So let us change IP to 1.2 and just copy and paste it to the second firewall. Okay, so we are done with the interface configuration, and now let us ping the remote interface. Okay, show system interface port 1 is for the second firewall. Let us ping the remote interface IP, that is 192.168.1.1. So I'm able to reach, and also from the firewall 1 execute ping 192.168.1.2. I'm able to reach. So now I'm going to configure the BGP configuration. That's an eBGP neighbor relationship between port 1 and port 2. That is a FortiGate firewall. So go to config router BGP. Then we have to set the autonomous system. So the local AS is 1, right? So I'm setting the local autonomous system as 1. Then we have to set the neighbor autonomous system, for that is 2. So for that, go to config neighbor. Then we have to set the neighbor. So what is the neighbor IP is 192.168.1.2. Then we have to set the remote autonomous system. Sorry, remote AS. So the remote AS is 2 for the neighboring firewall, which is in autonomous system 2. Then what we have to do, I am going to set the network. So I am going to advertise this prefix. Okay, so for that, just do next. Then I have to go to the BGP. Under BGP I have to configure config network. Then we have to add the prefix. Okay, so I'm going to add the first prefix. So edit 1, that is first entry. Then set the prefix. Set prefix 192.168.1.0 followed by the mask, and then save the configuration. Okay, so now we can view the configuration. So view the configuration, show router BGP. So this is the config ID in config router BGP, and the local AS is 1. Then we have configured the neighbor and the remote IP and the remote on our autonomous system. Then what you have done through the network command config network, we have added the first entry and we advertise the prefix. Okay, so similar configuration now I need to do for the second firewall, that is port 2. So go to the second firewall. So go to config router BGP, set the local autonomous system is 2, that is this is an autonomous system number 2, right? So set ES2, then go to neighbor. Let us configure the neighbor relationship. Config neighbor. Okay, then edit the neighbor relationship. Add this prefix 192.168.1.1 is a remote neighbor, right? So edit 192.168.1.1. Then add the remote on our autonomous system. So the remote AS is 1. Okay, so firewall 2 perspective, the remote AS is 1. Then then add the prefix. So what to do is just go to next in. Then from this BGP configure the network. So config network. Then in the first I have to add a first entry, that is 192.168. This prefix I need to add. So edit 1, then set the prefix. I hope you are following this. Set prefix 192.168.1.0 followed by the mask. Then again save the configuration. Okay, so we will save the configuration. So let us view the configuration. Show router BGP. So I have done first we have to set the local autonomous system, then go to this config neighbor and add this neighbor network, set remote AS 1, then we have to config, go to the network statement and advertise this prefix. So these are the only things I have did. So now let us check the BGP summary. How to check the BGP summary is, the command is get router info BGP summary. So I'm already seeing the BGP summary is already established. You are able to see the statement, right? So let us go here, get router info BGP summary. So here also the BGP neighbor relationship is established, and also we can check the BGP neighbors just like Cisco, get router info BGP neighbors. So here you can see the value, right? So the BGP neighbor is 1.2 and the remote AS is 2 and the local AS is 1. So already the BGP neighbor relationship is up for this particular seconds. And similar way, let us go to the second firewall, okay, and get router info BGP neighbors. So here you can see the local AS is 1. From this perspective, second firewall, the local autonomous system is 2 and the remote AS is 1 and the remote router ID is 192.168.1.1. Okay, so also you can check the networks. So get router info BGP network. So also you can see the network statement. So you're able to see, right, the remote network is 192.168.1 dot and the next hop is 1.2. So this is how you can configure the basic BGP neighbor relationship. So what are things I have done is, first I configure the directly connected interfaces, then through the config router BGP we have configured the BGP configuration. Then what we have done is, we have set the local AS autonomous system number, then we went to config neighbor and we set the remote AS, then through the network statement I advertise a prefix. So this is how you can configure the basic BGP configuration via CLI in the Fortigate firewall. And I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Thanks and have a wonderful day. Thank you.